Hello, this is Dave and the Wolf, or the Wolf and Dave, and this.
Are you sure?
Well, I just want to mix it up a bit.
Huh?
I always say Dave and Wolf, Wolf and Dave. I think
You throw
Wolf and
yourself out, I think.
I should actually say you before me, shouldn't I? Isn't it rude to say me
Well,
before you?
the most important always goes first, doesn't he?
That's why I always say Dave and Wolf. All right, this is just a general share advice and not personal advice.
Yes.
And let's rock and roll. Wolf, can we start with the story that I think we like today?
Yes. Let's start with the good stuff, shall we? And then we're going to leave the crap till the end.
Right. So I'm looking at ASG.
Yeah.
And we looked at the chart this morning and we say, okay, that's good. You're above the trend line. Good price action today. You're up on the result. Like it very much. You were trading at 250. You're at 28. We could see possibly as a trade up there to back up to 250. When we had a look at the story, what we saw here was
good reading, wasn't it? What's good reading looking at the story?
So I think you're a P of sort of 7, 8, and you've got a dividend of 7.5.
Yep.
And potentially a little bit of growth in the story.
Yeah. Look, then we're thinking, okay, there's going to be growth in the story. What's the sector like? And the car space is still pretty tight. There's still strong demand for new cars, second-hand cars. So I think overall, you've got a good little period still possibly coming up for little ASG. With a very undemanding valuation, Dave, at 7.8, that 250 could be easily reached, right? I mean, it wouldn't take too much and still be cheap, I'd say, at 250. So great dividends, good result today. I think you've got this as I think one of the easier trades for me. So
are you buying it as a dividend play or a trade?
Look, I think you're trading this, but I can understand people buying for a dividend. So I think there's two ways of playing this, however you want it. There's a lot to like about it, of course. Is it the best business in the world? No, it isn't, but there's a lot to like what we've seen today. And the period to actually go and trade this, I think.
Okay, thanks, Wolfie. So, buying around 208, maybe a stop loss at maybe 190 and targeting around that 240, 245. As long as the world doesn't cave in.
Yes.
Hopefully it doesn't.
Always a caveat, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always a caveat. Well, definitely at the moment, Wolf, unfortunately it is.
I know. There's always a danger, isn't it?
Iluka.
Yes.
So it's been hovering around trend. It's up today. The market's obviously like the announcement. Could you tell us a little bit more?
Yeah, look, obviously very strong numbers out of that. And we're expecting that coming up with very strong numbers. We already give a little precursor from BSC, the little African player that's come up with good results and looks extremely cheap, right? So Iluka has come up with a very good, pretty nice, juicy outlook as well. So, this is still just consolidating my thoughts. This is a very long-term play. If you've got that patience with this, it's going to be volatile. You're going to probably see ups and downs, but if they can get this rare earths on board and add that part to the business, we talked about it for probably about a month or two back. This could double, triple from here on the back of that, because remember we said the valuation just on Linus itself on its rare earths. This is if they add that parts, the rare earths, so that this could, like I said, this could double from here.
All right, thanks very much for that, Wolf. And so the argument is, if it's sort of not trending, but if you like the story long term and you're in it, you are getting a lot of support around that sort of 9, and just hold in there and take that long term view of the story.
There's a lot of value locked into Iluka with the rare earths, and this is why I'm saying this is a long term possibility here.
Domino's, Wolfie. A little bit like Lavisa, you don't like cheap jewelry. You don't like the cheap pizzas either. God, you Poles, why I'll tell you what, you come here to Australia, you don't even have jewelry in Poland, you don't even have pizza, and you're complaining about our cheap jewelry and our cheap pizza. In Poland, this wouldn't Domino's be like?
The Poles love cheap stuff, so I don't know why I don't like this sort of stuff.
Well, in Poland, Domino's would be like eating in a 5-star restaurant, wouldn't it?
Oh, well, almost. You know, probably the pizzas are probably going to be popular if they're nice and cheap.
Yeah.
The problem, look, the thing is, if you look at the numbers today, they weren't great, right? Where to from here is for me, and the thing is, what the market's probably focusing on. I love the way that the MP at least presents their numbers, and they're just forgetting about what happened the last 3 years. And just comparing themselves to 2019. You might as well just compare yourself to 2005, for example, and see what happens, right? I know there was a period of COVID, right? Yeah, okay. But 3 years, come on, guys. How long are you going to keep using 2022? They're going to go back to 2019, Dave. Sorry, 2023. They're going to go back to 2019 if things don't work out. I mean, it's crazy. I'm just one of those people that, first of all, it's just too expensive, right? It's 37 times. The results today went great, went flash. I'm sure they promised a lot for the next 12 months, but pass for me. It's too expensive. Even at $72, come back from 160.
Right. Okay. And the chart, Wolf, doesn't look good. It just needs to do a lot more. So it's most probably going to go sideways for a long time, Wolf.
Maybe.
To down. Now, EM2, more drill results. They've got a JORC coming in 4 weeks. That possibly an event, and possibly that JORC can excite the market a little bit, because, Wolf, the market isn't getting excited by drill results anymore. We've had
Unfortunately not.
We've had a year of 2 years of very, very good drill results. And we get it, guys. We get it. We get the fact that I think what we want to see now is a good JORC resource, and we want to see timeframes on getting into production.
Yeah, and look, there's even no guarantee that the JORC will get market excited. I mean, this is the issue, right? We need probably be even past that. We need to give us a mining plan or something, right?
What I would say, and I'll give them a shout. They've got great management. They've got Tim Mason. They've got Charlie Bass. They've got very good people in this story. So that's a big tick, Wolf. And we learn, don't we, more and more in this business
in
how
this industry, especially, it's about the people. Yes,
people, right? And they are some great people.
That's why Mika is going so well for us. Actually, can you just, before you go on, let's put that on, because it's still going well today.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Have a little Mika look. Yeah, still looking very, very strong, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's looking good. Anyway, great people. This is what I'm we're talking about. Let's move on to EML. Oh, yeah, the bad.
Well, you can understand people would short this story because they've obviously come out with a bit of an issue.
A bit of an issue is nicely putting it.
Well, okay.
It's not just a bit of an issue. It's a major issue.
Yeah, I lived in Spain for too long. Where Spain, that would have been a bit of an issue. But obviously,
Spain's normal.
Spain's normal. That's like, oh yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
but in Australia, a normal world, it's obviously a big issue. So what's happened, Wolf?
Well, they've just apparently discovered that there's a bit of fraudulent activity going on in August. So they are investigating it. That's scant on details. However, they've already talking about that might be a significant hit. Up to they don't think it's going to go more than $7-point-something million, right? But you just don't know. I mean,
so what's happened? Someone's just been printing the cards and spending them, or
I don't know. This is the thing. No, we don't know. We don't know what happened, because there's like a scant on details. We know there's been fraud, and there's possibly going to be $8 million hit to the coffers. But the worst thing is, Dave, where is the I suppose the checks in place where this stuff gets picked up? This is the issue I've got as an investor. Where this thing can happen. This should not happen.
Well, especially a big company like this. Unfortunately, Wolf, often this could just be the start of even more issues.
Oh, Dave.
Yeah.
It's from $5. They've had issues already. This is just another one of the litany of issues they've had.
Of course.
They've got Irish issues. They've got this. Oh my God, this is getting worse and worse. Yeah, I don't even know what to say anymore. This is going down even further, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And the shorters will be having a bull on this one, I should think. ELO,
Yes.
strong announcement, Wolf. Very good. You know, look at the daily. The daily's holding up there.
Mhm.
So if someone bought it on a daily chart, it's still a hold.
Mhm.
Obviously, weekly doesn't look brilliant, but hopefully it's enough to turn the story, Wolf.
Yeah, you'd think so. You know, again, Dave, like I tell you, Dave, you know, I'm expecting companies to come up with the right words for the investors out there, and the right words for companies like the ELOs of the world, you know, the tech stocks that we want, is they're going to get to profitability or at least cash flow positivity within, say, 12 to 18 months, right? We want to hear that. We want to see there's growth, positive outlook, right? And probably also saying there's going to be some nice organic type recurring revenues. That's the sort of stuff we want to hear out of the company, and they are managing their growth and the actual costs. This seems to be hitting the target with this commentary today. So that's why it's up, and it's nice growth in 2023. So that's why I still got time for this to get through that 350 that we talked about. That is a possibility. You know, we know that there's value in this story. However, the market's pretty tough at the moment. What do you do there? I mean, obviously, fundamentally, it looks good all around, but technically, what do you do?
Technically, I think you're out in this market, unfortunately, Wolf. I understand fundamentally it's a good story, delivering. You're most probably going to have to just wear a cheaper share price and more volatility, but hopefully down the track, 6, 7, 8 months, one day it'll have its. If it keeps delivering, one day it will have its move.
All right.
I think the trouble is it's just lightly traded.
That's the problem,
so again, could be a great story, but because the market crashes and John Paul can't pay his mortgage, he sells 20 grand and bang, down it goes again.
Yep. Okay.
Two insurers, PSI, now both good price action. Both had good announcements. So PSI, I'm going to give you technical views, Wolf.
Yeah.
You know, it's coming up to resistance, so maybe missed the trade.
Mm-hmm.
AUB looks a little bit better. So AUB, again, you could talk about the announcement, but if I was going to trade one, it most probably would be AUB. I've got a better risk reward near the trend line. Tell me fundamentally how your comparison is between the two, Wolf.
Look, they're both in the same space. They actually share like a JV, I think, in the UK, Dave. So they are rivals as well as partners. So both results are very, very close, matched, very, very good. And the only one, probably from fundamentally, I prefer AUB because of being cheaper. And you probably prefer the actual chart as well. So I think we're leaning slightly towards AUB as the possible trade here. And, you know, the insurance broking side of things is going quite low at the moment. So there's possibly another trade. Maybe either wait for the end of the week, or Dave, maybe you can say what you think, whether there's a trade now or wait till the end of the week.
Yeah, I think most for you wait to the end of the week, Wolf. But can I just or beginning of next week, obviously with Jackson Hole on Friday. But it is a big difference. So you've got AUB trading, and correct me if I'm wrong, 21 times, and you've got PSI trading at 33 times.
No, so, PSI is trading on 23.
23. So, okay, it's
yeah,
come down.
I've adjusted everything with the announcement today. So 23 versus 21. So slightly cheaper for AUB. Slightly
cheaper, but so not a huge amount.
No.
So it could run up a little bit more, couldn't it? Why don't we have a look on Friday? You know, I think if it's on Einstein's this weekend, because I'll tell you what, if Jackson Hole is a really bad announcement, we might not even have an Einstein's this weekend. Let's see if it's on.
Fair enough. Okay, so at least let's mark them for Friday, right? Let's see where they are.
Get them on the watch list.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think definitely watch list Friday. I'm gonna write that down. AUB. All right, now BMT.
Yes.
Obviously broke trends, been in a bit of a downturn. It just looks sideways to down. Obviously you wouldn't buy it technically. It's still, the market doesn't want it yet, Wolf. But you see shoots of recovery here.
Oh, look, I'm like this. They still haven't put a foot wrong. They've been actually going quite well. It's just you know, we had a sell-off because of the tech stocks. It's trading on 4 times revenue, which is decent. It's going to grow by 33% in FY23. So all the numbers look good. And again, they're using the right terminology here. They're going to be looking at both growth and the bottom line. So hopefully it's not going to be too much. And I think they also said they're looking at cash flow positivity next year. So we'll see how that goes. And I sort of got a lot of time for this because it's got a similarities for me of what Alcidian has done. So for me, that's the reason why I'm interested in BMT. But for the moment, maybe just be patient, wait for another moment to get to know this company a bit more.
And Wolf, in the health space, in the healthcare space, what do they sell exactly?
So they sell, various products. One of them is Ripple Down, and another one is looking at patient data. So very similar actually to Alcidian's type stuff as well. But potentially, I don't know. I mean, it could be another little story that we can add to our little universe of healthcare stocks.
All right, but really another one for the watch list. And just see if we get through this volatility over the next few months, we get this jumping above trend. Possibly this could be a little winner for us.
Yep.
Well, for a stock that's really run away from us and certainly one that we've never been too fond of. It's coming up near, well, fundamentally not been too fond of it. It's coming up right now to resistance. It's trading 91 times.
No, 95.
95, sorry. And
don't give him credit when it doesn't serve a 35. Thank you.
And it's growing at 20%.
Yeah, it's actually now probably 97 now with because I was looking at 56. Now it's $58, $59.
So certainly, technically, I think it's run too hard. It's near resistance. Look, so fundamentally, tell me about it.
Fundamentally good, right? So in other words, delivered a pretty good result. Growth is, I think they're talking about growth of about 20% odd in 2023. So that you could still liking it. So pretty much, if you told me all these numbers, you've got this growth, come up with a great result, profitable, I'm thinking I want to buy this, but then you tell me it's trading at 100 times forward earnings. I'm thinking, are you crazy? It's like you're going and paying 3 times over your house price, Dave, for something. It would just make no sense to a investor. So that's the only thing that's really too much for me. I need to see it much lower, and unfortunately 50 times probably where I'd be prepared to have a look at it. I mean, I've even increased I was normally saying 20 times, 25 times. Okay, I'll make it 50 times, which still puts it out, well, $25.
All right, just so fundamentally,
why stick? Come on.
So fundamentally, technically, no.
Yeah.
FCL, unfortunately, technically, we said it last week. No, it's broken trend. I said it last night. Again, Wolf, the announcement.
Everything was good today, Dave. I mean, everything was good except one thing, and that's the key thing for me. The growth, if FY23 just isn't there. So, they're talking about 5 to 10% growth on the top line, which is the revenue. For a tech stock, that's just not good enough. That is just not good enough, even though it's cheap. And all those metrics that we talked about, right? This is the one that's got the $4 price targets from all these things. If all they had to do is come up with a 15 to 20% growth and I reckon this probably be up back to $2 again. 5 to 10% is just not enough right now, unless they're being very conservative. But the market's like so short-term focused that all they see is 5% growth. Now, sorry, next.
All right, Wolf. COS. It's above trend. Big tick.
Yeah.
This has just been this sideways, great story that just doesn't do anything. When's it going to change for us, Wolf? Because again, they've had another good announcement today.
Look, it could be 2023. It could be the movement year, because it's now the valuation's caught up to the share price. So with this result, they are trading on, and the latest figures are they're trading on 16 times. So that's now good, because the actual growth, Dave, is 20% plus, right? So it's actually below, the P is below the actual, the P, which means that it's trading below 1 on a PEG ratio, right? This is exactly what we want to see. So this is looking good. I like it. And I think potentially FY23 is finally the year that might see some movement upwards.
All right, Wolf, little hot stock, having its move up and actually looking pretty good now. And
yes, now it's flying.
Obviously excess deaths. more people dying, and this is an issue we've got all around the world. More people dying than normal, and I suppose as long as they
They're
keep
cashing in, so to speak.
well, you know,
Not a nice thing to say, but they are cashing in on the extra deaths, right? We've got happening at the moment, and well done for the hot stock.
So will these extra deaths keep happening as long as they keep jabbing us? Do you think?
No, it's got nothing to do with jabs. I mean, it's obviously
that's not.
Excuse me. The actual deaths when they're recorded with people that actually had COVID in the system, whether it's COVID related or not, that they didn't say about the vaccinations. It was about the actual COVID in the system that has caused.
But
right?
excess deaths and what they discovered in Scotland have gone up significantly throughout the whole jabbing process, right? It's one of the few places they've actually done statistical analysis of this, Wolf.
Yeah, but the actual statistics, if you look at it, the reasons why there's more is because of the recordings there's COVID related deaths, whether it was the main cause of the death or there was just COVID inside the system.
Again,
it doesn't matter, right?
I think
there is a spike in deaths.
Yeah, I think they're being politically correct because there are plenty of graphs that will show you actually COVID makes no difference. But I'm not going to argue about it.
The thing is, there is more deaths. That means that PFP is doing well.
Yeah, my view is, I'll tell you what, the more they want to keep bloody boostering us, the more you're going to see deaths there. And I listen, that is an opinion, and I'm certainly not going to shy away from it because the rest of the world does. Next one, Coles, Wolf.
By the way, where do you think you put your stop loss on the PFP? Because people are actually in this as a hot stock, and it's going quite well. I'd say you probably move your stop loss now just below 5, wouldn't you?
Yeah, just over 5. I mean, listen, it's a tough world, Wolf, right? Don't be too greedy. If you can make 3 or 4%, do it, right?
Yes. All right, Coles.
You know what? Opportunity.
I think so. I mean, you see the previous red candles, right? Pretty strong red candles. It bounces back every single time.
Look at that. Again, just but it's a dividend play. So you're getting a good dividend. You're getting a stock that plays a good dividend at a better price. So if you get a bit now, you get a little bit. Look, it does tend to come down to the happy little red line. You get a little bit there, then why not?
I'll tell you what, I can't put my finger on why it's actually gone down. And I know that obviously it's a big stock, so the brokers cover it and possibly missed the expectations from the big brokers out there, right? Or the guidance. But the results actually weren't too bad. Look like they increased their margins on a bit of growth on the top line. So that the whole theory of they can possibly increase margins on inflation, it seems to be playing out, it's starting to play out. And I didn't mind it. It's still growing. And like I said, I think this is just an opportunity, if anyone doesn't have it, for a dividend stock to have a look at it.
Wolf, LYL, again, you're seeing another sort of picks and shovels business in the resources sector, looking very good. Good little breakup here. A nice little breakout. It doesn't look too bad at all. So it's not going to be, I'm not going to trend this at the moment, but I can understand if someone would. It's not looking too bad. Maybe if it looks like this by the end of the week, Wolf, again, you've got a good dividend and a cheap story as well.
Yeah, look, it's another engineer, and it's predominantly servicing the mining industry. So it depends what your view on the mining industry is, whether it's slowing down or not, and probably it is in a way with the commodity prices coming off. So it's just a difficult one to sort of think about where it might be in 12 months' time. It looks cheap, Dave. Great dividends, all those sort of things. You go, yeah, I might have a little trade in here, but it's a risky trade.
All right, NWL. The chart just not enough for me, Wolf, and I think it's expensive for you.
Yeah, 57 times, Dave. It's too much for me. Hub was even more expensive, and NWL is expensive. They're growing, yes. You got to give them the credit that they are doing quite well, but I think the market is just pushed them way too hard, too fast. We're at the beginning, so now there's going to be a lot of catching up to do. So possibly, for me, it could go sideways for a couple of years.
Wolf, let's just do Ansell's before the other two, because again, it's a major story, but just a few issues there. It's below trend. You said the other day you'll take profits on it fundamentally.
Yep.
It's never been really a charting story, but fundamentally you put it as an idea, but it's a take profits at the moment.
Yep. And you know, this is just, I think today just give me that extra motivation to take a profit, because the news is saying that looks like there's going to be some litigation on some court action with Ansell's and one of its, I think, factories that they've got in Bangladesh that, you know, they actually don't own it outright, but they are a party to it, or they outsource it. And of course, you know, that's been brought up before, nothing's been done. And it looks like the people that are actually working there who have spoken out, and there's more people in that, they're launching some sort of a big class action.
Wolf, okay, last two, Worley. So we've got last two stories of two very, very good blue chips in Australia.
Yes.
Certainly a good looking chart. It looks like it could go on with it. It's been, I think it's been a keeper for a while for you. Very, very nice. So if you're in it, you're holding it. If you're not in it, are you buying it here or just looking to buy this on weakness?
Buying on weakness, I think. Let's be conservative. You know, let's not chase it up on a 4.5% day. But you know, I think my thesis on this is playing out beautifully, right? I've talked about it before, that this is turning into my flagship bearer for my green fund. Right. So they are doing that. Nice results today, and I put my nuts on the line, said it's going to come up with good results. They did. Nice outlook. I think this is going. If you the thing is, you've got to have a long-term view on this. This is going places.
And again, Wolf, the P is down to 22.
Yep. So
that's starting to look reasonable. Yep. And it's still got a dividend of 3.5%.
Yeah, exactly. So that dividend is a bonus, right? Just treat it as a bonus. It's Dave, if you look at the numbers, they have such a low margin business, it's ridiculous, right? But you know, if they have 8 billion in revenues, it adds up. So that's why it's all they need to do is increase the margin by it's just a small little tiny percentage, and it just, you can see a huge movement up in the bottom line. So for me, the possibility of getting better and better for Worley is there. So I'm still a holder. As
is SHL, Wolf. Now, you know, technically not looking as beautiful, but it's holding up. It's looking sort of pretty solid sideways movements at the moment. But a P is very low, isn't it? About 11, so it's not expensive.
No, and Dave, I tell you what, it was probably the most worrisome stock that I had in the portfolio, because I didn't know which way it's going to go with an announcement, because you know, it could go anywhere with these reactions at the moment, and I was worried about the COVID, see what the numbers are going to come up with and everything like that. But it was really reassuring and very nice results. Basically, take the COVID out and they're still growing. Fantastic. So you got to like what you see. So COVID or no COVID, Dave, this is a stock for your portfolio for the long term, for sure. It's not expensive, even like you said, you know, with the numbers on there. So yeah, take it as you way. You've got a little bit of a dividend too in there. It's all, again, probably another one of those Worleys, long term.
All right, Wolf, on that note, listen, thank you very, very much. Some interesting stories out there. Just to sum it up, we've possibly got a trade that we're looking at of ASG. I think it looks very good. Obviously, EML looks like it's going to go a lot lower. And, you know, just don't be greedy with the hot stocks. If you can make 3 or 4%, very, very, very good.
Yep. And watching AUB and PSI for the end of the week.
Yeah, definitely. And Worley and SHL certainly keep us in there for those longer term portfolios.
Yep.
Oh, on that note, Wolf, hasta mañana.
Great day. Thank you, Dave.
See you, Wolfie. Bye, mate. Take care. Bye. Bye.